you're doing.
I will kill you. Hey, I didn't mean that.
My dude! I got a sweet gig! Oh, I know!
to a very little nap. They cheer me up.
Really?
Well, I'm a dog walker slash waitress slash fuck doll for the fifth-rate studio execs. Enjoy your 10% of effing all.
Wow, how is life, my dear? Oh my god, traffic by Galileo Park was awful. There were some big-ass films too. Ugh, I hate this city. I hear you. This is why I am so thinking of, like, moving to the burbs. What do you mean? You can't do that. Jesus. Well, fuck you too. It's your loss.
Hello.
You suck.
Hello?
Hello, do you happen to do rescues?
Unfortunately not. I am the only one on duty at the moment, and I'm a veterinarian.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
okay. If you hear a light explosion and then a medical, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Hello, you just sent a message to the ambulance line, correct?
Yes, I did. This is MMA Street with the District Attorney's Office. I'm wondering if there's a member of your command around or not.
You are speaking to one. May I ask what it is in regards to?
Well, for one, I was introducing myself. For two, I'm your lawyer.
Okay, sounds good. Nice to meet you. My name is Jane Warner, and Chief of Veterinary Services.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm talking with Sam's. Um, when would be possible to have a meeting with you? Or with you and your command?
Um, I would have to check. Like I said, I'm currently the only one around.
Okay.
Was it just for an introduction, or is it something else? I am in a secure spot, so nobody should be able to hear me. Just check.
This would be about something else, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to at least give a little bit of a heads up towards the rest of command if that is
Mm-hmm.
the case. Because
Yeah,
I don't.
caught wind of some things that I need to get you all up to speed on, and then, yeah, it'll be a conversation.
Okay. And may I ask if you, sorry, if I was to send a message back, you would be able to see my number, correct?
Your number is 602-068-2087.
I think so. Yes. I don't know from the top of my head. Sorry.
Yeah, you called me back directly, so I got a instant message on what your number was.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, if you could at least send me your name, I will put your name in my phone. You can also do it with mine, with Jane Warner. And
Mhm.
I will try to reach out to command. I cannot promise how quickly that will be. But as far as I am aware, we were planning on having a meeting regardless. I don't know if that is the meeting that you were talking about anyway.
You might have been planning to have a meeting with the intern chief justice.
I think so. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been me, but that would be a good meeting to have first before having a meeting with me.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Okay. Let me see here. Then I will. Sorry, I'm trying to also like mentally take notes down here. Um, so you say first a meeting with the intern chief justice, and then a meeting
I
with
would
you.
have I would have the meeting with him,
Mm-hmm.
just because that is going to be more prevalent than a meeting with me.
Okay.
And then I can get some of my paperwork in a row, and then we can go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Are we also required to have any paperwork on our end ready?
My biggest suggestion, from what I've heard, you need to get your SOPs in order.
Yes, that is something that we are working on as soon as possible. The only thing I can say about that is we are very close. I cannot firmly, like 100% say how quickly that will be, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it is something we are actively working on.
Sorry, can you say your name again?
My name is Jane Warner.
Jane Warner is who I'm speaking with. Sorry, I'm talking with the district attorney as well.
Oh, okay. No, sounds good. But yes, if you could send me a text with your name. Like I said, you have my permission to save my number in your phone as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try and get in contact with the other chiefs, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, in regards to the meeting with the interim chief justice. Sorry, titles and words.
They're always fun.
Exactly. But yeah.
All right, I will get with you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Warner. How are you?
Not so bad yourself?
I'm pretty good. Would you have time for a quick meeting?
I think I have. Was that in regards to the phone call just now, or?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's something else.
Although, hi.
Hi. Yeah. I think I can do that meeting. That should not be a problem. I will come around. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right. I think it would be best if we can go to the office so you can follow me.
Yes.
Make sure that these are locked. Sorry.
All good.
All right. Let me lock it. Excuse me. Thank you. Please have a seat.
Just so you know, I am whispering at this point.
Yes. Good idea. All right. So what can I help you with?
I had a conversation last week with Herman
Mm-hmm.
regarding Andre Knight.
Mm-hmm.
From my talk with Herman, I think all three chiefs are well versed in the matter.
Mm-hmm.
You, Jeff, and Herman.
Yes. Me, Jeff Jeffers, and Herman Friedrich are the chiefs.
Yep. From my talk with Herman last week, I know he's very emotionally invested in this,
Mm-hmm.
and I was hoping to talk with a different chief on the matter.
Okay.
As you were made aware, we are your attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
So any case of wrongful termination that's brought towards Sam, we would be your legal advisors on how to proceed.
Yes.
In the case of Andre Knight, while there is cause for concern, I
Mm-hmm.
do not believe legally you have a justified reason to terminate him.
That makes sense. As far as I am aware, he is not terminated. But we did have to demote him from deputy chief back to paramedic. I haven't been able to talk to Herman about this as reasons why, but I can assume it is because of some of the meetings that we had as the chiefs in person ourselves, and but that is something that I would need to clarify with him when the next time I am able to see him in person.
If I may ask, what was the reason for the demotion?
Sorry, say again?
If I may ask, what was the reason for the demotion?
I am basically speaking from my point of view. Unfortunately, we have noticed that during the time, even before Andre was promoted to deputy chief from a supervisor's point, we had a meeting, Jeff, Andre, and I, about I would say our hiring process. We are still working on the SOPs, as you are well aware. And currently, because of that, we are temporarily holding off on hiring anybody. We feel like Andre took it upon themselves to plan an interview with somebody, or at least to tell them that they are welcome for an interview. I was the person that actually held the interview with that person, or at least tried to plan it. But I wasn't made aware that this was the case, that was actually told that they were welcome to come in for an interview and to plan this. When we asked Andre, he basically said, well, what is the point of a supervisor then, if it's not to hire and fire people? We basically tried to explain our side of the story. I'm sorry I cannot fully recollect what has been said, but what I can say is that we were trying to be optimistic while giving criticism, but a positive kind of criticism, like how it could be done better. And Andre took it upon themselves to leave the conversation without the conversation fully being done. Unfortunately, over the last few weeks, according to Herman as well, this is something that once we were trying to communicate with him in a positive way, trying to include him in conversations, in decisions, in changes, we had a feeling that once it got to a point where they felt like the conversation was over, when that wasn't even the case, they would walk away mid-sentence and not give us time to respond. Again, this is one of the things that has happened a few times now. That being said, we, as far as I'm aware, have been talking within the Chiefs about this behavior. And as far as I was aware, at least, this would be a warning. But given the fact that there's also been a security risk where, again, I hope this is between us, but there was a security risk where a person was hired on that later turned out to be a dangerous person. And with a recent change within our, I would say, access within MRPD, so I mean the doors and the motor pool, that person also would have gotten access. As far as I'm aware, Herman planned a meeting with, I think it was David Pierce, but it could also have been somebody higher up the command. I am not 100% sure. They planned that interview, or at least they said they wanted to plan that interview or meeting, to which we suspected that that email had been intercepted by Andre, who took it upon themselves to go in Herman's stead, which he did word to David Pierce and I believe Leo Chang as well, that he was there on Herman's behalf and made the changes without communicating with any of us. We do not know what the full extent was and how that came to be, but once we figured out that that has happened, we, as the Chiefs, went over to MRPD to talk to them, to talk to David Pierce, but also to Leo Chang, and Leon confirmed that Andre mentioned that he was there on Herman's behalf, which again, Herman said that it was not what I intended. So we felt like that was a security risk that has happened, especially because, well, like I said, they took it upon themselves to have that meeting, while that information should technically be between Herman and the chief of police, or the command of police, so to speak. So we were concerned. We went to David Pierce and eventually Leo Chang, mentioning this, that it was probably a security risk on multiple fronts. We explained the situation and we reverted those security access, so the access to the doors and access to the building, so to speak, until at some later point we would have that meeting again, or Herman would have that meeting again. So in that way, we felt like Andre took it upon themselves to go over Command's head, to make decisions over Command's decisions without notifying us or communicating with us, and ultimately having a major security risk as a result. I think there is more. Unfortunately, I cannot fully say what else that has happened within the time period between the demotion. I would say the demotion probably happened like within the last few days, as far as I'm aware. So unfortunately, I cannot fully say what else has transpired or has happened to make that decision.
The security risk, that was the accidental hiring of Peter Harrison, right?
One of the things, and on top of that, it was also Andre took it upon himself to go to MRPD and getting access. So, as far as I'm aware, Herman wanted to talk to them about certain ranks within the hospital having access, at least only to the motor pool. That is it. So, I'm sure you've been at MRPD. On the outside, you have these bullets and the doors to get into the motor pool. That was the only thing that Herman wanted access to, and for the rest of the building to be guided or, what's the word I'm looking for?
Escorted.
Escorted, yes, thank you. To be escorted further into the building if that was needed. But again, because of the situation, we would have access to the multiple doors, not exactly the bollards, but also the front doors of MRPD. So we would be able to get inside. How do I explain the area? Like,
Yeah.
where the big table
where
and
the
the little
walking
offices
foot-
is. Yeah.
You would have a similar access to what we had.
Yes, and unfortunately, upon further investigation, while we were walking upstairs with David Pierce, it seemed like we also could open and lock doors on the higher levels as well, which is something that we did not want. So again, to specify, the only thing that we wanted is access to the motor pool. That was it. So we felt like it was a security risk with Peter being in our ranks, having that conversation happening, and then having access to almost all doors within MRPD. Also, having access to higher ranking officers. We felt that that was a risk that we needed to discuss with them as soon as possible and revert that as soon as possible. So it was basically a little bit of like both the Peter Harrison thing, but also Andre. In our eyes, unfortunately, Andre stepping in as Herman without Herman's permission or approval to have this meeting on his behalf and making these changes, which could have been catastrophic in a way.
Yep. Do you have any questions, Emma?
On that front, I was going to say it sounds like you guys made a very intelligent decision. It's sounding very much like he has been overstepping and could have potentially put a lot of people at risk, not just himself.
Yes, and again, also with Peter Harrison being hired, this is a separate case, but because of the huge outage within the MDTs, what likely has happened is Herman did do a background check on Peter Harrison, and it came back blank. We weren't fully aware to the extent of the MDT malfunctioning, so that is probably why he was hired, because it came back clean. Once we discovered that it was him, we also immediately showed up once we were summoned by PD to set this situation sort of straight. Unfortunately, well, it's not unfortunately, but we were able to talk to some of the officers to basically come up with a plan on how to, get this situation sorted with Peter Harrison. Eventually, it did sort itself. He went to work somewhere else, which also caused him to lose his rank, and he would need to be rehired. As far as I am aware, he did want to speak to Herman about it. Jeff was there as well. I was in the vicinity, but I didn't hear what that conversation was. So I cannot say, unfortunately, what that conversation might be. But at the moment, as far as I'm aware, Peter Harrison is not hired within SAMS.
Okay.
I'm really hoping I'm explaining this, at least I'm trying to, for the best of my capabilities. But again, the last few days, things have happened that I am not fully aware of as to why. This is only from what I imagine and suspect has happened, but I cannot say 100% for sure. Like I said,
How you're explaining it tells me that this is likely what happened. It's very probable and the right pathway of things.
it is just unfortunate that this is the way that it went, because we are people that want to give everybody a chance, except when they have proven that they are either, well, I hate saying a bad person, but let me rephrase it. When they have proven to either being a security risk, either being a danger to people or animals, for instance, in Peter Harrison's case, unfortunately, that is somewhere where I draw the line personally. That if somebody has previous experiences, again, we are willing to give everybody a chance to a certain extent. We gave Andre the chance, and unfortunately, the security risk as well as his behavior is probably one of the causes, or two of the causes in this case, for him to be demoted. I was going to say one other thing that just popped in my head. Unfortunately, Andre took it also upon himself to give himself all of the available certifications without any training as well, without any communication between any of the chiefs. That is also something that he's done without any communication, without any approval. And unfortunately, in some of the cases, it has been proven that he is not knowledgeable enough without the training that we are willing to give, which has caused some issues with some of the patients that we have had. If I can name one example from my side, so from the veterinary side, an animal was injured, and this was in the field. Technically, we weren't on duty. This was with a special occasion. He did try at least to, I would say, like wrap the wound, but the wound wasn't tied close enough, so the wound kept on bleeding. So I took it upon myself to get said animal over to the hospital and get there properly treated. So that is one of the instances that, at least from my perspective, showed that they do not have proper training with it. I would say animal first aid, if that makes sense, which is something that I am working really hard on, getting it in a document and getting it out there. So I'm hoping, at least that's what I'm hoping, that any handler of any animal, so for instance canine or any other animal, at least I will be able to provide some basic information so anybody knows what to do and to get them to the hospital safely.
Yeah. It sounds like he's grossly overstepped in a number of fronts.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. The unfortunate part of all of this, though, you don't have any of your SOPs readily available, which is going to make the argument back and forth a bit more cumbersome.
And that is something that we understand. And again, with everything that has happened, with the security risks, with the other situation, it has took time away. But again, because of the chiefs, so Jeff, Herman, and I, being constantly in contact, constantly having meetings, we are constantly running ideas back and forth. I do have a very strong positive feeling that it will be sorted very soon. I just unfortunately cannot put a date on it because that is depending on all of us. But we are working really hard on getting the SOPs as good as we can get it for now, to send it over to. I'm trying to think. The justice. What did he say? City planner? Is that the right word?
Possibly.
At least so the government is aware that they can review the SOPs as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is something that we are working on.
There was some SOPs written while I was around. Are those still in effect, or are they? They weren't completed. They were very brief. They were more like guidelines at that point, but
I'm going to be really honest, that is a very good question. I do feel like the guidelines or the SOPs that were in place, I unfortunately cannot say too much about it because, again, I am focusing mostly on the veterinary side, and as far as I'm aware, that is something completely new. So I cannot fully give an answer to that. I'm sorry. I do feel like because I am aware that we do have some documentation, at least that we are currently using. At least, sorry, let me pull that up really quick.
To run out of this meeting, by the way.
you're good.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good actually. The one thing I wanted to mention before I totally jump out of this conversation, though, are you aware of what ex post facto it means?
Ex post facto? No, I'm sorry to say.
The common terms of this is the state cannot create a law based on what somebody does and then subsequently charge them with breaking the law after the fact.
Okay. And then this
My
would
suggestion would be the same would apply and as you're writing SOPs. If somebody's broken a quote unquote SOPs, but those SOPs don't exist, you can't hit that person with those SOP breaks after the fact.
Okay.
You can train them and say this is the new standard, but you can't say, "Oh, you did this, so you're getting terminated." Just
Okay.
You will open yourself up to a much bigger lawsuit that I'm going to recommend you avoid.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But in the sense of like the security risks and the things that I've mentioned, again, I think there is more, but that I cannot remember from the top of my head, or that the other chiefs know. Do you agree that the demotion at least is something that is within our rights, within our department, to make that decision?
With everything that I've heard happening so far, yes, you are within your bounds to demote.
Okay.
If you're looking toward a complete removal, if not firing, that would be a bigger problem.
Okay.
In my opinion.
The motions are a lot easier to defend than firings.
So. Okay, yes. But technically, if we had the SOPs in place, and given the fact that I would say like the behavior repeats itself again after the SOPs are in place, then it should be allowed to fire them. Because again, warnings, demotion, as far as I'm aware now that we've been talking about, warnings, demotion, firing is basically a little bit where we are working towards. Once the SOPs are in place and actually mention that is something that we can do based on what happened before. Or is that something that I'm... Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, it's the upset of having SOPs readily available.
Mhm.
They're your fallback for when you have to take disciplinary action, that you can actually take it.
Yes.
If you have nothing and then you have to take that action, you have nothing to fall back on.
Okay.
To my very big understanding, this state is not an at-will state. So
Mhm.
if you're going to be taking action to remove someone, you need to very, very, very clearly document reasons why, because they can take you to court for it.
Yes. Okay. No, I understand.
This is also probably a good thing to put into your SOPs. The chain of events that lead to termination. So, documentation, disciplinaries. That's important to have in your SOPs. I'm not sure if you already have it or if you're planning on having it.
As far as I'm aware, that is something that will be mentioned in the SOPs as well. And yes, I think that is something that we were working on as well. But like I said, just because of the events from the last few weeks, we have been working on it, but a little bit less because our time was taken away for these situations, unfortunately.
I need to get going. Can you unlock just the store? I can get myself
Yes, of
out of
course.
the rest. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I will open the other door as well.
Let's say I can get past the others. That's not a difficult one.
Oh, you can get through this one? All right.
I can't unlock that door. I was just gonna hop your desk.
Oh, no, it's okay. I can open the door. That's no problem. All right. Thank you
Yeah,
for the
great.
meeting. Also, sorry, I didn't mean to lock you in.
No, you're good. I figured you'd come back.
Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did.
If you didn't come back, I would probably just call you.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I understand that, unfortunately, I can only give my, knowledge on this matter. I'm sure that Jeff and Herman can also share their input regarding this. I would like to ask, could you send me that information about having the SOPs in place in regards to firing somebody? That would be immensely helpful, especially trying to explain that to my fellow chiefs.
Yes, would you prefer a text or an email? I can do a text if you want.
Actually, if
Up to
that
you.
could be an email, that would be helpful.
Yeah, that works. It's whatever you prefer. Give me 1 second.
Yes, of course.
Just to find you. No, I just wanted to talk, and I know Herman was very emotional about it, and sometimes an outside perspective is important to
Yes.
see more clearly.
I understand. It's just, like I said, unfortunately, like I said, we are willing to give everybody multiple chances. In our eyes, even, because we are still working on the SOPs, we felt like warning, like verbal warning or written warning, demoting and then firing would be the right cause of action. Since a lot has happened in the last few weeks in a very short time that they also have been in our ranks, and as I mentioned, overstepping. I don't think impersonating is the wrong word, but them going on Herman's behalf without Herman actually, giving the go-ahead for that, and creating a really big security risk for not just our department but also PD. That is something that we cannot overlook.
The one concern I had brought up to Herman about this, as I was asking him whether he had included Andre in the discussions.
As
'Cause at-
far as I'm aware, he didn't. As far as I'm aware, he mentioned it one time before he was even a deputy chief, but I don't think it was to this extent who he wanted to reach out to, what he wanted to say, what he wanted to be put in place. That is something that he hasn't even fully discussed with us. We only found that out after we figured out that Andre somehow got that information and acted upon it. And once we figured that out, we immediately took action into going up to PD's command and talking about it, and ultimately reversing that decision as well.
Just want to add 2 things to that. When it comes to the possible hacking, due to the nature of the accusation, and it's speculatory, it would not be allowed in court. The justice and the DAO are making it hedge. That is something that is a higher powered problem, if you get what I mean.
Yes, I understand.
And because it is easy to think you were CC'd into something and you weren't, and you know, it's impossible to say if it was a hack or if someone just accepted the email by accident or glitches in the system sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And second thing I will say is I had spoken with Andre because he approached me as well. I will say he felt, and I'm not saying this is of anyone's fault, he felt left out of the group, and from my understanding, Deputy Chief is a command position. And I told this to Andre before reaching out to PD directly. Speak to your people first. Try to. This is more personal advice than legal advice.
Yeah.
Because going straight to PD could seem to if you imagine if Herman had reached out to someone about veterinarian services and left you out of it before going to PD. I'm sure you would felt left out and unrespected by Herman. I think it's kind of that situation where Andre felt unrespected by the chiefs and being left on the outskirts.
Yes, I understand that is the feeling that Andre had. But like I've already tried to explain, we are not trying to exclude anybody. That is definitely not our goal. But unfortunately, because of the interactions we had before he became the deputy chief, so as a supervisor, that were already causing concern, we wanted to reach out to our deputy director and deputy director and director. Pardon me. We tried that for several times between all 3 of us, and we never got a response. Then a week later, he all of a sudden got promoted, as far as we are aware, without any communication between us on that decision. And we kind of felt like we were also being ignored in a way. That being said, we were just going about our business. Then the situation actually came up that has happened without our knowledge, so without any communication. So we didn't know that they actually spoken to you about it as well. And that is when actually, we had to start taking action by getting the situation straight. So going over to PD, getting the security risk out of the way, so to speak. As well as also keeping Peter Harrison in mind, unfortunately, as well. And then when
I obviously will not comment on Peter Harrison. That's not my case.
So the other thing was as well is, as far as I am aware, we also tried to still include him into like decisions making. For instance, for me, without my knowledge at first, they were working on the canine SOPs, which I have been working on like ever since I became the chief of the veterinary side, which took at least 3 weeks, 4 weeks for me to work as a doctor and learn as a doctor before that decision was being made. Ever since then, I've been working on SOPs for the hospital, guidelines for the rangers, and guidelines for the canines as well. I have been talking to some of the PD about this. I'm still hoping to set something up, but at the moment, that is not my main priority. My main priority is getting the SOPs done. But when I brought that up, Andre immediately responded with, oh, then I will remove what I have written already. And I said, no, you don't have to. We can plan a meeting, we can go over it together, and we can cross reference the information that we have. But then again, this is the situation, at least with me. He said something that I couldn't hear and decided to walk away. And unfortunately, this is behavior that he has shown after that a few times with me as well. And from what I've heard with Herman too. And that is something that is a concern. Because, again, as far as I am aware, when I described the situation, what happened between Andre and I, to the other chiefs, as far as I'm aware, I didn't try to exclude him. I didn't try to, you know, not let him give any input, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I didn't want to say you did that. If that's how it came off, I apologize.
But
I
yeah.
didn't want to. I didn't want to say that that's how he felt. That's what he told me. So.
Yeah, so that is something that unfortunately has happened when we were trying to talk to him. He walks away, and that is something that is a concern because, like I said, we're trying to exclude. We're trying to include him, not exclude him. And how can we have a conversation if the other party keeps walking away? Like again, I want to hear his information. I want to get his input, but also keeping in mind that he also self-certified himself as a canine handler, for instance. Basically, to give clarification, he had all the certification except for the veterinarian side, where I don't even have the canine certification. For instance, he had every single one except one, and that is more than any of us within the department had. For instance, and like I said, I would love to have more people, you know, be a canine certification person, getting the certification. Sorry, but also I would love to have more people eventually working as a veterinarian, maybe helping with like the EMS side, perhaps search and rescue with a canine. But that is something that is still in development, and that's why I'm saying like I would love to hear his information, but his reaction immediately was like, "Oh, I'm just going to, drop everything and leave." That is something that unfortunately has repeated multiple times, and that is something that I raised as a concern that has happened. And later on, Herman has done that with us as well.
Well, I am glad to have gotten a full picture.
As full as I could give it, yeah.
Yes.
I do want to say, if it is okay, if you still want a meeting with the three of us, I'm more than happy to set that up as well. That is definitely not a problem.
No, at this point on the matter, I am satisfied that there is no legal risk at the hospital, and yeah, you won't get sued. And if you do, you have a solid defense.
Yeah.
My concern is just for the hospital itself, whether it'll get sued or not.
Whether it's sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, you're good. My concern is whether or not the hospital will get sued. And
if we were to fire him, or yeah. Well, like I said, we only, as far as I'm aware, we demoted him. I cannot give the full reasons for it. I have my suspicion. I gave you my suspicions.
Yep.
Pretty sure that Herman would be the one to make this decision because he is the chief of the EMS side.
Yep. From what I understand, Herman is currently on a leave for a bit.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And unfortunately, that this situation has caused us a lot of stress. Unfortunately, we were trying to do our best to, get everything sorted and still be around for everybody that needed us.
I do believe that Andre does intend to transfer to PD. So
Okay.
it's also one of the reasons why I didn't think a termination would, because if you terminate, you open up to a lawsuit, and he's planning on leaving anyways. So it's kind of like
It's got a little bit of double-edged knife as well, in a sense.
So you're losing him no matter what, and you also lose a lot of money, you know. So.
Okay. Well, again, the only thing that we are hoping for is that he finds his luck within PD, if that is then the case. But again, our goal wasn't necessarily to have him fired. We just wanted him to make aware that this situation or the situations that happened is not a good one, and that's what we were trying to at least make him aware of. And because of the extent, that is probably the reason why he's now demoted back to paramedic. But we didn't mean to immediately fire him.
Yeah, because when I spoke with Herman, he told me the reason for the meeting was to see if there was enough cause to terminate him from now on.
Okay, I wasn't fully aware that that was the case, actually. So
yeah, so because he's the one that called me and said, "I'd like to talk to you about a possible termination of an employee."
Okay. Yeah, okay, then that is something that is news to me. I'm sorry about that, but I will, like I said, I will, if you are okay with it, at least explain to the other chiefs what has happened, that we had this meeting, and what was being discussed. I do feel like this is information that they also should know, especially in regards to the SOPs, obviously. So thank you for coming over and explaining that to us. That is really helpful.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say our only goal is to work with the departments and not work against the departments. We are more than willing to listen, to advocate, but also listen to your advocation for any situations. And we are still hoping to at least get some clarification within the next few days from Justice Taylor about the regards of the other situation as well.
What other situation? I am not aware.
I don't know if I'm able to share that, to be honest. As far as I'm aware, there has been talk, or at least, oddly enough, it was Leo Chang that first said it, like, with the situation going on, if there was needed to be a rank restructure, who would you then put, like, at the top? Okay. So that is basically it. But we have been in discussion of that. It hasn't fully been, like, been confirmed or denied, so that is something that we are still working on, so I cannot really discuss too much about that.
Yeah, I will also say any conversation that we have that's on the, like, not, I'm not gonna say on the record, but you know, official is privileged. I cannot speak about it, so
yeah,
I can talk to other prosecutors if it comes to a lawsuit or if it's
but the way that things are looking, yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I just want to say whatever you say here stays between me and you, essentially, that I will not speak of it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say I know that one of our employees also wanted to have a meeting as well with somebody from the DOJ present. I don't know who that will be then at the time, but as far as we are concerned, we are not firing everybody or anybody, but we would like to at least explain some of the situations that has happened and go from there. But as far as I am concerned, nobody's fired. Again, the demotion probably was needed in the sense for Andre's situation or situations. But anybody else, we are still on the phase that we are trying to at least help the people that we have. So train them, guide them, get them on a level where they are comfortable. But at the moment, the SOPs are some of our priority, or is our priority technically as well, to get that sorted. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, not a problem.
I do appreciate your time. And I hope you didn't get too many medical alerts while we were here.
I unfortunately did get one, but I am unfortunately a veterinary side. I cannot go out of the hospital. That is the only curse that I have. And because of everything going on, obviously, Herman being on the EMS side, Jeff being on the doctor side, and me being on the veterinary side, I was still training to become a full doctor. But I feel like the veterinary side and the SOPs are currently getting my priority. So
Yep.
I would have to, unfortunately, pick my battles at this point.
That's fair. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna hold you up for more time.
Yeah,
do
no problem.
appreciate. Oh, relay this test.
Yes, not a problem. And like I said, if there is anything else I would like to know, if Herman or Jeff or the three of us need another meeting to clarify some things, is it okay if we reach out to you then?
Oh, of course, of course. Me or any other prosecutor.
Okay.
We are. I'll be around a lot this week. You're not the only department that has issues.
Well, to be fair, I thought you were on the LOA.
I was for a bit, but I've hashed out my issues with the justice.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, like I already said, we are looking for working with the departments, not working against them. So that's basically it. But yeah, thanks for the clarification at least.
Thank you.
And am I to assume that there's not another meeting needed then, because Emma called before?
Emma's thing is completely different, and it's something I won't be touching. So
Okay, so that might still be a thing.
Yes, something to do with Peter. I'm not sure.
With Peter, okay. Yeah, they weren't really specifying what.
I'm not exactly sure.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like I said, that's the only thing that I remember is that they took another job. They wanted to talk to Herman. They spoke to Herman and Jeff was there, but I don't know what was said because, to give an example, they were talking over there near the chairs, and I was here at the desk, so I couldn't really hear what was being said.
I really have to think about an email really fast.
Oh no, you're all good. You're good. But yeah, so to give clarification, Peter was over there talking to Herman and Jeff near the chairs, and I was at the desk at the time. So
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
so I didn't hear what the conversation was that was being said, unfortunately.
That's fair. Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I will relay the information. Thank you so much for the meeting, and as always, if there are any more questions, then please let us know. We will respond as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's fair. Now on to my next meeting.
All right. Yeah, you're busy.
You were my third meeting so far, so.
Okay. Well, hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. Hopefully he's still awake.
Hopefully.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
know you.